clip. This video is going to be on what we can learn from our children. Bless them. There's a lot of this mental health. I don't know why I do this. I just don't like labelling things. And I actually think mental health means we are awake because we're starting to feel things when they're wrong. So I do this mental health because I don't like labelling someone with a problem, if that makes sense. So that's why I did that. But my subject today is what we can learn from our children. And yeah, it is a big thing at the moment with mental health labels and children and adults. But I believe that our children are sort of mirrors of our inner child. So the relationship we have with our children is actually a mirror image of our relationship with our own inner child. So if we're very detached from our soul, our spirit and our inner child and our awareness of all our trapped emotions that have gone on, then our relationship with our children will be mirroring that to a certain extent. So I found that what my son was going through directed me in exactly where I needed to heal. And the more I healed, the more we came together. Yeah, it was magic. So my kind of thing, and I do believe that the children with ADHD, and I'm not liking to use labels, but there's a thing about this listening, kids listening and sitting down and being very over emotional and expressing emotions like different levels of autism, breaking down, but I think number one, we need to learn how to let our emotions out like children do, because most of my work with adults is actually going back and helping them express the emotions that weren't ever allowed to be expressed as children. So maybe we should listen to the children who, when you're upset, just scream and let it out to a certain extent. Because otherwise those feelings are all trapped, and then they cause physical conditions of when we're older, and we lose touch with ourselves. Now I know there's different spectrums of mental health for children, so I don't want to put everyone in one box, and because that's not how life works. We all have our own boxes. But it's just really useful. So I'm doing these videos to try and help, and this is what I found helpful for me when I was really struggling with Ethan's behaviour and with issues that he was struggling with in his life. I found there was a mirror in there somewhere, and if I recognised that, and the more I focused and then tuned into it, it helped, and it helped him. And I do believe, because I've in frequency and atoms, and I do study a lot about physics, that really we all are water, atoms, physics, etc. That when we are in a certain frequency, if you're around someone all the time with that frequency, then you're going to pick it up a little bit. So just be aware of how you're feeling. And I always talk to Ethan a lot. I mean, we all worry. I'm a mum. I worry that sometimes I'm a bit, I've been over emotional in front of Ethan. But I had to cry at times, and I cried. But what I do with my son is I always tell him that it's mummy just crying, or mummy's tired, it's not your fault, or I just explain to him what I'm going through so he knows that it's not him. So I find that really helpful. And also, this just came to my head, it's interesting to understand our parents. So I had to do a lot of work on forgiveness, and I had a lot of things coming up, and again in another video of my childhood. But forgiveness and understanding of our parents is also important. So if we understand what I was explaining about, so I am really sort of a mirror of my mum's inner child. So we all are. This all goes back in our ancestral path, and whatever we're carrying in our family DNA is frequency. It's all frequency. That's what I'm trying to explain. So the emotions come through the frequency. So if we can tap into that, feel them, accept them, appreciate them, and then learn to love them, we then shed them, let go of them, don't pass it down to our children, and then we can accept ourselves for all our stuff. Because then our frequency is a little bit higher, in high love acceptance frequency, and that is the frequency that we all heal on. And if we're healing, then everyone else around us is healing. So I hope that helps. Any questions? Again, comments below, and I hope I explained that okay. But yeah, I'm just doing these videos, you know, as things come to me, just trying to be honest and open and helpful. So yeah, speak soon. Thank you. Bye bye.